Years ago, the case could be made that your superhero film and the star of the film was the actor playing the character and not the other way around. Of course, ever since Marvel Studios decided to cast big heavy hitters like Thor, Captain America, and the Hulk with actors that weren't really the biggest names in Hollywood, many people scoffed at them because who would want to see Captain America when it's the awful actor who played the Human Torch and not the big up-and-coming guy that everybody's fan casting, like Sam Worthington? Or how could they possibly ignore the fan favorite to play him like Matt Damon? Yes, believe it or not, this was how it was before. This is how it was. Now Marvel Studios' own Kevin Feige talks about the fact of how they make stars and some of the perception that they've ruined the modern-day movie star. So I think many of you are very well aware that back in the day, specifically in the 90s, and then of course the early 2000s, the way you cast for a unsure film or something that you thought might flop was you go get the biggest actor, give him the biggest paycheck, and you hope that the name sells. This of course started to change late in the 2000s, but up until that point, it was very prominent. I still remember when Christian Bale was cast as Batman. The forums were on fire. They didn't cast somebody that's big. They didn't cast somebody worth note. Christian Bale, who's going to want to see that? That's a step down from a big name like George Clooney. Again, yes, this was the perception. Same thing with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. This, of course, happened to multiple Marvel Studios actors. So recently, speaking with Film Companion, Kevin Feige was asked about the characters that they picked and, of course, the actors. And he said that if you look at them, they have very popular characters and good movies. And it's these characters and this popularity that turns an actor into a movie star. And I saw some people responding to this and sharing it, getting really mad, saying that that's not true. It's the movie stars that make the film. And I have to respectfully disagree because that's wrong. Do you mean to tell me that Thor became a sensation because people were excited for Chris Hemsworth, but nobody knew who he was? I don't think so. Somehow I do not believe that, and there's literally no proof to show that. As a matter of fact, it's the complete opposite because big trades were literally saying Marvel Studios is gambling their future and is probably going to go bankrupt because they cast two relative unknowns in the stars of their next two big films, meaning Thor and Captain America. Today, day and age, it's revisionist history. Everybody loves Robert Downey Jr. Of course, he made the MCU. What, you didn't think he was going to? Back in the day, it was a different story. People did not like his casting. People were very upset. They were saying, this is the end of Marvel. I still remember when the trailer leaked for San Diego Comic-Con. People sharing it and laughing, saying, can you believe this is going to go up against Batman the Dark Knight? Can you believe they think Iron Man is going to outsell Punisher, Warzone, and the Hulk? Yeah, good luck, Marvel. You're going to be sold soon. Again, this was the perception back then. Don't let revisionist history tell you otherwise. Just go look it up yourself. And that's one thing he touches upon as well. He talks about the no of Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston. And Feige talks about how today they are big stars. Robert Downey Jr., same thing, bigger than ever before. And it's the Marvel casting success stories that you expect. And he says that maybe some people in Hollywood have this perception that somehow Marvel ruins movie stars, but there's no truth in that because why would movie stars then flock to the studio now? See? So it's a weird way. I get it though, it is Marvel Studios. They get, the spotlight on them. And what they did was rather insane. I mean, again, they cast the Human Torch guy as Captain America. That's insane. If they had more money like today, that could be very different. They probably would have tried to pull something like a DCEU where you're like, well, we got a Batman. What do we do? Get Ben Affleck. He's asking for millions. People know who he is. But now they're doing Robert Pattinson because he has an uphill battle. They're trying to capture the Marvel Studios mentality because you want to make stars, not pay big money for possible gambles. Again, that's what Marvel Studios did. Back in the day, the top contenders for Thor, believe it or not, were Shia LaBeouf and Josh Hartnett. People thought you needed one of those two to make Thor and Loki viable, popular characters.